Ladies and gentlemen, I am Ban Peng from Singapore. Welcome to Agora, Singapore. Tonight, we have more than 10 people who have registered to speak. And if you wish to record your speech, let me know. I will give you the rights to do the recording. What is going to happen tonight is each speaker will be allowed 1 minute to introduce yourself and to tell us why you are the suitable person to speak on this topic and why is this topic so important to the audience. 1 minute to do that. And then you have 7 minutes to present your speech. If you look at Mike Nicholson, you will see that his backdrop will change to green when you have finished speaking for 7 minutes. Yeah, I mean 5 minutes. Yellow, that means it's 6 minutes. If you see a red backdrop, that means it's 7 minutes and you have 30 seconds to wrap up your speech. Now, while the speaker is speaking, what is your role in the audience? Your role is to provide a supportive, encouraging environment for the speaker. How do you do that? You smile at the speaker. Okay, smile, nod your head, encourage him, and then clap hands when he said something good, something important. Okay, so that's how we encourage each other. And how else do we support the speaker? At the end of the speech, I will invite volunteers to share some feedback. And the feedback will be, which part do you feel the speaker did very well? What do you like so much about the speech? And help give one idea how the speaker can do better the next time. Or if you were to deliver the speech, how would you have done it differently, for example? Okay, so that's your role as an audience. Are you ready to begin?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. First speaker, let's welcome Dr. Ernest Chen.
So I have 1 minute to introduce myself, right?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a true blue Singaporean, born in Singapore, study in Singapore, of course, live in Singapore. I love speaking. I love training. I love coaching. I love sharing of knowledge. And I love to travel and discuss topic of interest with everyone. Whenever I travel, I like to meet people and talk about their culture. And today's my topic is about why you should write a book. So shall I begin now?
Yes.
Writing a book is never easy, nor is very difficult. Why everybody should write a book? I'm telling you one, because you should know the reason why you should write a book. If you don't know the reason, that means it's something wrong with you, because you are in the speaking arena. You like to talk. So whatever you have, the knowledge is in your mind. So writing a book is not difficult because you already have a reservoir of knowledge in your head. What you should do is sit down and then write your message. Slow and steady, you can complete a book. However, writing a book is just like speaking on the stage. Everybody has fear. Fear that you could not finish the book. Fear that you run out of ideas. Fear that whatever you've written is not up to standard. Fear that people do not read your book. It's the same thing. You go on the stage, you fear that you'll die. You fear that people will boo you. You fear that people will throw the eggs at you. Of course, none of these things will happen. Because I've been speaking for 20, 30 years. I'm waiting for the dark eggs to be thrown at me. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. So nobody died on stage. Yet people say public speaking is the #1 fear. They're afraid they will die. No, you won't die. Why you should write a book? Don't wait until on your dying bed, then you tell someone, come to me. I'm going to read out and you write the book for me. Too late. That's the time you can't write a book because your mind is not incongruent. You cannot write a book. To write a book when you have the best ideas, and when you have the best energy, when you are clean and ready to go, then you can write a book. So what are the benefits? I can tell you there are many benefits. I'm going to share with you 8 benefits. Number 1, the moment you have a book, your visibility goes up. You know how much people like to be visible? How much money a person have to spend to be visible? A person going for election, I mean, maybe presidential election or member of parliament election. You know how much effort, how much money he has to pay in order to get somebody to make him visible. So the moment you have a book, this is called, intangible benefit. You are visible. People know that you have a book. Somehow or other, you put your photo in the cover of your book, even better still. People walk across the bookshop. Hey, that's Gate Van Ping. Wow, so handsome. Don't know whether you use the old photograph or new photograph, right? It's something because the name is there, the photo is there. I have people approach me. Hey, Ernest, I saw your book in Kinokuniya. I saw your book in the Borders. I saw your book in MPH. I saw in the Straits Time, whatever it is, right? I saw your book. People recognize you. That is called visibility. And when the visibility is there, your value goes up. Number 2, the book is also make you an influencer because you can write whatever you want in the message and people believe you because it's never easy to come out with a book. The moment you have a book, you are the influencer already. Depends what you write, the content of the book. You don't like, you can talk about leadership. You talk about what are the style of leadership in the book, what you see the leaders, and so whether you want to lead or to be led and so forth. And then people say, yeah, the leadership trainer. You are the leader yourself. That's why there's a book. So the book is an influencer for you. It's a shortcut way. Rather than you go out and blow your trumpet. People read your book, they know you're the influencer. They know that you're the trainer for that particular skill. Number 3, the book is also authorized you to be an authority for the subject. There are thousands of subjects. Depend what you want to do. If you want to write about, how to travel around the world in 90 days. And then, if people want to travel around the world, they buy the book and read. Where do you go in your 90 days around the world? Which place you go first? Which hotel do you stay? And what food do you eat? And how to avoid dangers? How to avoid war? Don't go to Ukraine. Don't go to Russia. So these are the things that you do. You are the authority. Nowadays, there are so many travel books around the world. Normally, people before they travel, they go to bookshop and buy this one special travel books, and then the guy will tell you where to visit on the budget hotels and so forth. So it makes you an authority. Straight away, your value goes up. Number 4, the book is your name card. Gone are the days where you visit people, you tell me, oh, this is my name card. You are, No. You don't do that anymore. You go and see somebody, you can say that, excuse me, Mr. Jones, I've forgotten to bring my name card, but I have my book. This is my name card. So you present the book. Mr. Jones, wow, woo-hoo. I can't even write the book. And now this guy have a book. So you elevate yourself. You make yourself higher. Isn't it? So that means that you are better than the guy. Another one, number 5. This is part of personal branding. You know how much money a person had to spend for branding? Do you know the recent Winter Olympic Games, the Chinese American hybrid, the girl, Wu Ailin, you see, she has a branding. She makes millions of people representing the brand. And then people see her, they like her. So this is the personal branding. The moment you have the book, this is your branding. And the other one, the next one is experience the change. You know why? I know I've written 7 books. The first book is the most important thing. I call the first book Earnestly Speaking. And now people know me as Earnestly Speaking because they know that I speak from my heart. I don't go around the bush. Direct, I speak from the heart. So this is called experience the change in me. The moment I had the first book published, I walk tall and people invite me to give speeches and so forth. Right? So the change in you is so dramatic. It straight away give you a quantum leap in the way you change. The next one, passive income. While you sleep, I mean, people start buying your book. You can hear the machine ding dang ding ding dang dang going around. You can either sell your books online or in the bookshop. I think I prefer you selling physical book better than online. Online will be good if you can cross border, other country can buy for you easier. But it's not easy to sell because every day hundreds of thousands of books going online. It's never easy. But physical book easy. When you give a talk, you sell your book. Usually that's the best way because people believe in you. They believe your authority. They believe you're the influencer. They believe that you are somebody because you've written the book. And the last thing, remember, leave a legacy behind. Don't leave the money in your grave. Don't leave the money in your coffin. No. Leave the legacy. Giving the book to your loved one, giving a book to your children, your grandchildren, great-grandchildren, great-grandchildren. You read your book. It's more important giving them $1 million. My dear friend, you can succeed if you have a mentor to guide you along. Write a real book, not a book with 20 pages full of photographs. Write a real book. The content will elevate your status. And people see you differently. My dear friend, if you still do not know how to write a book, come to see me. I will influence you and make sure that you can write a better book and elevate yourself. Thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you. That's all.
Thank you, Ernest. Yeah, write a book. See Ernest Chen if you need any help. Now, timers report, please.
Ernest did his 7 minutes for the speech, plus 2 minutes and 16 seconds for extra value.
Thank you, Mike, for giving me the privilege extra 3 minutes.
I love the extra value part. Okay, now I invite our friends to share some feedback. Who would like to go first?
Okay.
Okay, Avinder Singh.
I feel that Dr. Ernest talked about the book, and I feel it's really what he provide the information is really very good, and his points are all very valid. And I can say that it's very encouraging that I always thought of doing that, but I never go even one step after that. So I have many topics I wanted to write, something, but it never get the courage and never even get started. So with his encouragement, maybe I will now start to plan.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody need encouragement. Everybody need a coach and a mentor. So if you can contact Ernest, I'm sure he will help us write the book. He got experience in that. Thank you very much, Avinder. Any other volunteer?
Hello, Bang Ping. This is Jenny.
Where are you?
Jenny,
Jenny.
Oh, Jenny. Okay, sure, Jenny. Sorry.
All right. I'd like to have a feedback on Ernest's speech. Well, why you should write a book? This is a very interesting topic. And he started off very well. Neither it is easy nor difficult. So I love that statement. And the question, how do you go about because of the fear? What I found is the speech is very motivational, it's very encouraging, and very convincing.
Wow.
Yeah, he's the man who did it so systematically when he spoke about listing down the 8 benefits. Not only he listed down, he went item by item on the 8 benefits. And that was very clear cut in which the benefits lies. Now, the best part of the speech was to leave a legacy. I thought this is an important point because it is not easy, true enough, to write a book. So well done, Ernest, and I always love to hear from you. One area which I felt can be enlightened is the first time is always very difficult to embark upon when you did your first writing on earnestly speaking. Perhaps you may want to share a little about how did you go through to convince yourself in writing doing the first attempt? And that's all I have. Thank you very much, Ernest. And back to you, Bang Ping. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. Ernest will tell you about how he got started writing the book, but you must come for the next Agora meeting.
Okay, thank you.
I think Brian raised your hand. Did you, Brian?
Oh, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if there's time.
Please go ahead. I think we should share.
Ernest, I love the idea that every single point that you make is something that's really important, it's inspiring. And I'm just going to offer maybe just from my point of view, how this could be a little more effective. First is you excel so much in the information and the reason. At the same time, that what I see that may be different is that there's not that much emotional drive behind that. That's number one. Number two is that you need to work a little bit more on establishing your credentials, because people write the book, but you didn't give us a single tip about how to start. Because sometimes people would like, oh, he's such an expert, but why is he talking about his accomplishment without giving us any place, anything that we could start, or we could start with our book? Because people like to be able to have something they could use immediately, and then they tested it out, they think that's working, and then, oh, that's come from Ernest Chen, I have to know more. So they'll come back to you. I thought that's psychologically, maybe that's one thing to think about, just to give people one way to start writing their book. And then of course, they will hit some kind of challenges, they will hit blocks, and then have to think about you, because you're the first one they get this started. Other than that, I thought this speech is perfect. I agree with every single point that you make, and you inspire me to continue writing my book. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you
Now,
very much.
Bang Ping, perhaps I'd like to add something, because Bang Ping craft the topic for me, the benefit. So I want to talk about other things. I only talk about the benefit, right? The benefit of writing the book. If my title is How to Write a Book, then there will be a lot of emotional side and so forth. There will be chapter 2.
That will be next Agora. That will be next Agora meeting.
Then the third one is, how to sell it. Is the third one. So because today is about the benefit, I know it's a bit difficult to finish 7 minutes. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I think Raju raised the hand earlier. Did you?
Yeah, I just want to say some comments which the other speakers have not covered. Ernest, let me tell you that I was inspired by your speech. I want to contact you. I'm also in the waiting list along with others to contact you to write a book. Now, what I like is that you have a conflict established at the very beginning, which is excellent. And I like your compassion of writing a book to public speaking so that people can relate to. And by God, your hand gestures, phenomenal. If I compare to the previous speech, you were more, I don't know what Ben gave you to drink, but your hands were, you were demonstrating what you exactly meant. That was great. And you had 8 different points and with explanation and all that. Now, having said all this, I have a few suggestions. What it is that, first of all, okay, if as a professional speakers, you don't reveal everything in your title. Keep some suspense for the audience to, that's what I generally do, like keep them on the guessing thing. And if I was giving the same speech, I would do it in a different way. I would tell my story. Now, these 8 points are fantastic, but if I close my book, I don't think I can still remember those 8 points. But if you say it as a personal story, I will remember your story. And if I remember your story, I know the message, what it is. So that is something which need to, and every good speech also has an action plan associated to it. What next? That sort of thing. And so it should be that the message automatically comes from your speech without actually saying it. That's when you inspire words. But still, what matters is the end result. And you convince the audience to write a book, job well done. And those of you who are interested in speech preparation, I'm giving education module on speech preparation, the next Romania meeting. I don't know, Singapore, what time is it? But it's about 2 hours before. This Sunday, I'm giving a session on, if you want to have some fun, join in the Romania Agora Club. Yeah, over to you.
Raju, send the invitation to us. I will post in our chat group.
It's 5 o'clock Singapore. 5
No,
until
don't do
7.
like that. You must send.
No, I'm
so
just saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Raju. That was insightful. I like the part about storytelling, to generate the emotion and the memory anchors. So it's really good. Also, like what Brian said, the next step. So what do we do? So I felt that is also very important. I think Dr. Prachi did raise her hand.
Yeah, thank you, Banpeng. I just quickly want to share that
Not here.
The lights have gone out.
Lights is gone on. Dr. Prachi cannot hear you.
You are frozen, Dr. Prachi.
hello.
Okay,
So
you're back.
this,
No, you were frozen
right.
for a while.
So
You're
I'll
going to
quickly
start again.
share. I said that I was really inspired to listen to Dr. Honest Chain because I have been, somebody is guiding me to write a book, and I have written a book of kind of ebook first, and I now want to move on to the paperback edition of it. But what I liked about the speech was the precision, the points that were put up, which correctly highlighted that they validated to me, somebody who is an audience and who is thinking of writing a book, that why I should write it. It made my thought more stronger that yes, it pushed me to a next level that yes, I should go and write a book. And one small suggestion that I have is that probably he could have had his book in his hands, and we could have got to see him with the book. I mean, visuals do make a difference. So I think that is the small suggestion that I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Prachi. And also thank you, Dr. Ernest Chen. Okay, the next speaker we have, where are you? Jessica. Okay, same process, Jessica. 1 minute to introduce, tell us about the topic and the importance of that topic, and why would anyone want to listen to you? What is this speech all about? Are you ready? Same timing,
Yes, I'm ready.
1 minute for the introduction, 7 minutes for the speech. Take it away, Jessica.
Okay. Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Jessica. I'm a Singaporean now, but before I'm a Malaysian. I'm from Malacca. It's a beautiful town. Yes. Actually, now my title today is Conscious Planet Safe Soil. Why I want to talk about this title? Because right now our soil is facing a very serious situation. Our soil are degrading. So today I want to share about this topic because it actually involves our life and our security, about food security. So today I hope my speech will be a fun one to everybody. Yeah. Okay. This is my introduction. Now, Conscious Planet Safe Soil. Okay. I don't know. Can you see this? Oh, it's the other way. Safe Soil play card. Not clear. Yeah. So this Conscious Planet movement is initiated by Sadhguru. He's a yogi, a mystic, and a visionary. He initiated this Conscious Planet Safe Soil because our global soil is dying. So once the soil is dying, we know food will be gone. So once food is gone, human will be extinct as well. So don't be scared. So now we still have time, all right? This is a time that we need everyone to come together and save the soil, because saving the soil meaning to save ourselves. So Sadhguru, how he going to do this? He wants to get 193 countries, the leaders, to come together to act upon this. And as well, he needs 3.5 billion people to support this movement. Wow, 3.5 billion, we're wondering, how can he do that? How can we get 3.5 billion people to support this movement? We can. Why? Because we have social media now. Last time it's impossible, but now with the social media, we can do it. And because he's with the United Nations, the UNCCD, they will connect with 172 countries' leaders where they're going to have a meeting soon. So to get 193 countries leaders together to act upon this, I don't think so it's an issue, because everybody really concerned about how to survive, right? If we don't have food. So to save soil, this is, I think everybody will want to take note and be aware and want to participate. So last time, if we take one orange, the vitamin C is sufficient for our health needs, yeah, nutrition. But now we need to take 8 oranges in order to have the equivalent vitamin C that we need. So can you imagine, can anyone here in a day take 8 oranges at one go? Anyone? No, right? But this is a situation. It's really very, very serious. We have to really act on this. So what can we do? Very easy. You just need to sign up, your name, your number, and where you are from. And that's it. You are a part of the 3.5 billion people already. But when I was sharing this to my friends, they say, just sign up, that's all. What else can we do? Wow, then we think of, in Singapore, we don't have soil, so we cannot save soil so much, right? But what we can do is, Monday, we can go plant-based. If let's say, imagine the whole Singapore population go plant-based on Monday. Wow, there is a lot of people, maybe 3 to 4 million of people at the same time we take plant-based, we don't take meat. We can reduce the demand for meat. Why? Because the livestock actually contributed a lot of, about 1/3 of the gas emission in the atmosphere that causes the climate change that is really getting hotter and hotter now. So everybody, can you feel this few days is really hot? Yeah, so we want to, if you want to get the better, more cooler, the climate, the temperature. So if we, by reducing taking meat, actually we can help in a little way, in a baby steps way. So if we go 1 week, 1 day, or 1 week, 1 meal plant-based, I think everybody can do that. It's not a difficult thing. So Wednesday, what we can do, we go car-free day to help to reduce the carbon footprint as well. So we can cycle, because now Singapore we got so many beautiful PCN. You can see so many beautiful trees and the natures. So we can cycle even to work, and that can reduce the carbon footprint as well. So Friday, we'll go to reduce waste. So maybe we can take our own utensil, our own lunch box to work. That also can help, because now everybody, call Grab food. When we go out, we go and pack our food. It's all this packaging that is causing a lot of waste that is stuck down there. And at the end, either you got to burn it, you bury it, or you just throw it into the sea. But all these also will harm our, our health and the environment. So we need all of you now to really come on board and to support this Conscious Planet movement. So as long as you eat, anyone here don't eat at all? I believe everyone eat, right? As long as you drink, yeah, I think we have to be responsible. So if we save soil, all right, the United Nations have all the reports already. If we save soil, by saving soil, we can improve our global situation. Carbon footprint can be improved. Our the poor, majority are the farmers that are really suffering right now. Their life can be enhanced, all right? And the water issues can improve, because the soil can contain the water. If heavy soil, it can contain a lot of water underneath the soil. But because now majority of the soil is dead, that's why when there's heavy pour, it cannot contain the water, will flood to somewhere else. And of course, yeah, the sea life, right? The sea life, because our atmosphere has so much carbon, and the carbon now all fall into the sea and it affects the marine life. So these are the few things that, as long as we save the soil, we can really improve the whole global issue. So this is the way to go. And that's why Sadhguru is riding alone from London all the way to India to create this awareness, so that the whole world can know about this. And there's an urgency. If we don't do it by this 10 to 15 years, it will be too late. And humanity will pay a very high price. So we do not wish to see that. So now we are reaching out to everyone. And are you game? No response. Are you game? Give me a thumbs up. Yeah. Okay.
No.
Yes, we need you.
Yes.
Let's work together and let's hold hands together and make it happen. Thank you very much.
Yay! Thank you, Jessica. Thank you. We got to come together and save the earth. Yeah, save the soil. Timers report from Mike, please.
Okay, the speech was precisely 6 minutes.
Right. Thank you, Mike. Okay, anybody like to share some observations? Raise your hand so I can see you. Okay, Arvinder Singh. Okay.
Yeah, what she is telling is quite right, because I am quite convinced with her talk, and she's trying to give us the message of saving the soil. I come from the place where we grow things, like we grow apples and all those in our valley, and we can see that in our area also the yield is getting lesser, so you have to use a lot of chemicals to be put into the soil. Instead of the olden time, they used to rotate the crop to get it a natural fertilization, but that's not happening now. So because now people are more into the cash crop, and people want to earn money, so what is happening is that is actually harming the soil a lot and getting a lot of chemicals. So what the message you are giving is quite right, that you have to save the soil. And yeah, but maybe like what my suggestion to you is that maybe you can put in a little bit more of the real life examples, like what I'm telling you about the soil, because of the traditional way of growing the crop was different than what is today. So in traditionally, the crop was grown, and also the consumption and the wastage what we are doing today. You can see that you go to the every hawker center, every place you go to eat out, they have to throw a lot of food every day. Why? Because they have to prepare and wait for the customer. So my idea for the world is that why don't we just have the system that you order the food one day before, so that can be so that the hawker or the person who is cooking for you, he have cooked the food for you, and that is enough for him, that that then he don't throw the food, he doesn't cook too much. So this can be an idea you can just also can add into your speech. This is my feeling, but you can study on that. So if that is, because for me personally, I'm thinking to start this kind of a restaurant in the back. When I go back to India, I'm planning to start this kind of a restaurant where people, they will not get the food if they want our food. You have to order one day in advance. So we will only prepare for you. We will not prepare extra. And if something is left over, we will immediately give it to the animals like cows and all those. We have cows in our area. So that you can add all those. You can research on that. If you like it, you can add all those. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Uvinda. Very good. Who else wish to share some feedback? I think you did so well. I have one feedback for you, Jessica. Your screen froze when you were speaking. So if you, yeah, when you see the video recording, you will see, right? So if you can find a place where the internet connection is more stable. If not, don't use a Wi-Fi,
okay.
Use a cable direct connect from the router to your computer. Then your internet
actually
will be
there's something actually something wrong with my internet, so I'm using my hotspot actually. I cannot connect through my Wi-Fi. I don't know why. So I'm actually connecting to my hotspot. I'll try it, see later on.
Okay.
Thanks. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Benping, I have a couple of comments.
Raj?
Yeah, Jessica, what I like in your speech is your enthusiasm and your smile, constant smile while speaking. Looks like you were enjoying the speech more than what we were doing, which is great, because it's so contagious. People would love to see a smiling face. That's great. And the figures you quoted were quite credible, the 3.5 billion, and you also connected with the audience. You asked them a specific question: can you eat 8 oranges? And you paused, for the feedback from the audience, which is a great way to connecting to them. And you had a natural conversational style, which is excellent for a speaker. Now, here are a few suggestions. I think for any speech, the opening is extremely important. Opening of the speech. So unfortunately, you froze and we froze, but we were still hearing you. But that's something you need to take into account, because the opening and the closing is extremely important. And think about pauses. Sometimes when you say something very profound, just give a slight pause, for 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Then that will increase the curiosity of the audience. But Jessica, definitely next time I have any meet or I start my car, I will remember you. Over to you, Benping.
Thank you, Raju. Thank you, everyone. Now, okay, the next speaker is Dr. Halima. Same format, Dr. Halima. 1 minute to introduce your topic and tell us why you are a suitable person to speak on the topic, and then 7 minutes to present your speech. Let us welcome Dr. Halima Saadia.
Thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, a very good evening. I am Dr. Halima Saadia. I am a personal leadership mentor, and I have a mission of motivate million teachers and create 1,000 leaders. That's why I'm here. Today, I'm going to speak about one of my experience, 3 days with a teacher. So here we go. My husband dropped me at Reshma's place, but today there was no excitement. During COVID, neither the host nor the guest, nobody is excited to visit each other. But there was such situation. My husband was supposed to go to the native place and it was not safe for me to live alone in the house. That's why I visited Reshma's place. When I entered the house, I found there was pin drop silence, as if we are in the graveyard. What happened? Somebody died? I looked around. Uncle, auntie passed away 3 years ago. Then who? Reshma and Reshma's husband and Reshma's daughter, all three were there in the family lounge. Then why there is graveyard silence? I was unable to understand. But gradually time passed and I realized that they were mourning the job loss of the husband as if somebody passed away in the family. The husband lost the job. It's not a new news in pandemic. Many people have lost the job. Reshma has a job and they can very easily survive with Reshma's salary. Then why there is so much hue and cry? I was unable to understand. That night I couldn't sleep because when you are at such a place where negativity is all around, how can you sleep peacefully? Next day morning, I woke up late and I tried to make the whole atmosphere cheerful. I offered them to watch a movie together. Even watching movie together didn't bring any change in their attitude. They were still in the same condition. Then again, Reshma started crying in front of me. And Reshma said, do you think that I am so sad because just my husband has lost a job? And because my school has cut my salary and made it half? No, my dear. No, my dear, this is not the truth. The truth is that I have a small daughter whose diapers and food milk expenses is 25,000 rupees. Me and my husband, we need 10,000 rupees to survive. And my school has conveyed the message that now, if you have to work, work as volunteer. Because the second wave of COVID has made the students drop from the school, and the schools are like now barren land. There are no students from where school can pay the fees. Now you tell me, how am I going to survive? My daughter is going to die out of starvation. I was speechless. I could offer some money, but I am not that rich that I can support them for long. Then Reshma, what will happen? How we are going to manage this crisis? I was just giving her false hope that let me think, we can do something. There is always way out. Next day morning, I found Reshma talking to the people over the phone. I was happy that maybe Reshma must have got some people to help her and she may be contacting them for the support, for the help. But when I heard the conversation, I found that Reshma was calling the parents of the school. Reshma was offering them, how much do you pay to the school? They said 5,000 rupees per month. Now Reshma was offering them that I will teach your children the same education, the same book, the same curriculum, the same syllabus, and I will charge only 2,000 rupees. Why do you want to waste 3,000 rupees? Instead of going through the school, send your children directly to me. And anyway, it is online classes. I can manage the classes online very smoothly as I am managing in the school. I was shocked. How can Reshma do this? I looked at Reshma and said, Reshma, you the one who has scolded me once when I have taken an expensive gift from the parent because the parent's child was a weak child and you were thinking the parent has given me the gift because I can give some marks to the child. That time you were talking about professional ethics. What happened today? Reshma was speechless. There was no answer. Third night, we both were silent. I didn't have anything to say, and Reshma didn't have anything to reply. Next day morning, my husband came and I came back to my home. On the way, I was thinking during this pandemic, how the teachers have been treated. 1.6 billion children were out of the school, and it has directly affected the teachers. The teachers were half paid, quarter paid, even no paid. The country and the nation, those who are dealing with the teachers as if they are the daily wages laborers, and even worse than them, how that nation and country is going to thrive, how they are going to develop. Why it's happening to the teachers' faculty? And that is the reason why in a survey, the teachers have said 42% of teachers, they just want to quit the job or they want their retirement. My dear ladies and gentlemen, this is the time when we all have to think and we all have to ponder upon this. How long we are going to treat our teacher in this way? How long we are going to treat them as if they are the laborers, they are not the builders of the nation. The future of our children, the destiny of our children is in their hand, but how we are treating them. Now my question to you all is, was Reshma at fault? Was Reshma's action to call the parents directly and taking them outside the school and teaching them was against the professional ethics? Was it suitable to Reshma to do? Now you all have to think and reply and give me the answer. That at the moment, at the place of Reshma, if you were there, if there was a question of survival of your daughter, small baby, the diapers expenses, the food expenses, the milk expenses, and the other expenses, what will you do? Thank God that Reshma was not compelled to steal or to be a thief. She has just taken a few parents from the school, and she was happy by taking 10 parents, because 10 parents are going to pay her 20,000 rupees, and that is enough for her survival. That's all she wanted. With this, I would like to conclude my speech, because my dear ladies and gentlemen, this is the high time when we have to give the right place, right honor, right respect to our teachers, what they deserve. Thank you very much.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, who would like to share some observation and feedback with Dr. Halima? Raise your hands. Okay, we have Raju, please.
Halima, I think it was an emotionally charged up speech. You had someone behind in your mind when you were actually delivering it. We could feel the emotions you have gone through. And for me, if I say the bad time of my life has been my school days, where teachers were torturing me with something called the marks, and I can only remember that. And, your voice inflection is excellent, where
Cannot hear.
you could actually feel the emotions. You were so much emotionally charged up, and you had several conflicts in your speech where, you could, how did it happen? How was it solved? It kept us curious. And then you also had some suspense also, which was great. Now, having said all this, here are a few suggestions. Can I see your hands, Dr. Halima? Where were they when you were speaking? Why are you hiding them? Use that to emphasize your message. Use that to emphasize your message, right? So that's something. And one more thing, you had many dialogues. What I would do is actually try in an online, look at the either side of the camera. So that indicates that your conversation. Now, dialogues, don't need to move your head, just shift your head a little bit. That's fine. That will make the speech more interesting. And if I was giving the same speech, I would have quoted probably Singapore dollars, because when you were saying the speech, Benpeng was busy with his calculator. How much does it mean in Singapore dollars? So to connect to the audience, probably with the local currency would be good. And one instant where you said 50%, 30% no payment, I would say it in a different way. The lucky ones got 50% of the salary, but that's only 5%. Something, try to make to more impact. Overall, you convinced me to respect my teachers. I will continue to do that. Over to you, Bente.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Raju. Excellent. I forgot timer's report. Mike, please.
Timer's report, I'm just typing it up. It's in the thing. It was
I saw.
7 minutes and 6 seconds. And if I can ask to be excused and have somebody else take over the flashing lights, I will go on my way to Makassar.
Okay, thank you, Mike. I'll
See
do the
you.
timing.
Okay, thank you much.
Thank
I'll
you very
see
much.
you-
Have
see you
tons
2
of fun
weeks.
in Makassar.
I will. See you
Okay.
in 2 weeks on Wednesday.
Okay, bye-bye. No, we'll see you
Bye.
in Romania, right?
Yeah, I'll be on Romania on
Yeah,
Sunday. Yeah.
Okay, send us the link and the timing. Thank you,
Yeah,
Mike.
I don't think the link is out yet, but I'll ask Gabriella, and then we'll send it. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
See you
Thank
soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye, Mike.
Bye. Have
Okay.
fun.
We'll be having tons of fun. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, speaker number 4. Same process, 1 minute to introduce yourself, 7 minutes to present your speech. Let's welcome Dr. Prachi Ambolkar.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this warm welcome. Hello, everyone. I'll go with 1 minute of my introduction first. So, hi, I'm Dr. Prachi Ambolkar, and I'm a consulting clinical dietitian and a life-saving skills trainer from India. And I am about a little bit about me. I'm a recipient of National Award for Healthcare Services and a Community Service Award by BNI, that is Business Networking International, in 2019, and a subtitle winner of a beauty pageant. I've also worked, my mission is to reach out to masses to spread health awareness by eating right. And I worked in corporates like Hindustan Coca-Cola Beverages. I have a team of 8+ dietitians. And I looking to expand this team to a 1,000 dietitians academy, which is going to be online, and I'm going to launch this soon. So we have conducted this corporate talks for different corporates like Hindustan Coca-Cola Beverages and Rosy Blue Diamonds and GP Solutions, etc. And we have also conducted nutritious meals for children. And my clients include from 9 months young babies to 76-year-old lady. So yeah, that's it. Thank you. And I would like to take this forward to the topic of today. So the topic that I have chosen today is sustainable weight loss. And I'm representing it because I am a dietitian. And why is it important? Because people, when it comes to weight loss, people shy away from taking help because, of course, there is a lot of material available on the YouTube and on the internet. So they try things and they shy away to consult a professional sometimes because they think that they have to do something extreme and follow a diet which is a very extreme kind of a diet or drastically different, and they have to, most importantly, they have to give up on their favorite foods. So that shies them away to seek out for help. But yeah, so today's topic is sustainable weight loss. So I would like to start it. And once again, hello everyone. So what if I tell you that you have this? You have to replace your meal with this. These are yellow bell peppers. Or you have to replace your food. You have to replace your food with this. Can you identify with this? Yes, it's a dragon fruit. So the point that I'm trying to make is that what if you are asked, or what if I tell you to, instead of your meal, you have these fruits or vegetables, and somebody who wants to lose weight, you can easily lose weight. Yes, if I have boiled vegetables, even I can lose weight, anyone can lose weight. But the question is, will that weight loss be a sustainable one? So a lot of people struggle with weight loss because they lose a significant amount of weight, but they come back with the rebound weight gain. And That's what makes these diets fail, and that's what makes people stop believing from these weight loss programs. So well, all of you have must come across a lot of fad diets that are there in the market, like you go on soups for a week, or you go on for your favorite fruits or vegetables, or skip your meal for that matter, and yes, you will achieve weight loss. Yes, my dear friends, you will achieve that weight loss, maybe 7 kgs in a month or maybe more than that. But the question here is that, is it a sustainable one? Because this kind of weight loss where you follow a diet which is not really similar to what you're eating on a day-to-day routine, and then it becomes difficult to stick to the diet, and then you come back to your normal eating and you start getting that weight back again. So what if I tell you that you don't have to give up all your favorite foods, and you just have to just have to make little bit modifications in your diet and try including more organic foods, more alkaline foods, which will prevent us to from those lifestyle disorders, like there are so many across the globe today. The numbers are increasing, whether it is diabetes, whether it is hypertension, or whether they are heart diseases. So all these can be prevented, and the sad part of it is that, especially I've seen in India, people come to the doctors to seek help when the damage is done. Whereas when I took up nutrition in 2011-12, the reason was exactly the same, that there is a lack of awareness. People can start, being a little awareness can make a lot of difference to their lives. So what I feel is that eating a very low calorie diet, when you go on substantially low calories by switching to these extreme kind of diets, what happens is that you lose weight, but apart from that, you also lose important vitamins and minerals which are required for your body. So one must not go below 1200 calories in a day, and to sustain that, because that can adversely affect your health. To sustain that, you can make little modifications. So I would also quickly like to share a few tips here. So first is, number one is, if somebody wants to lose weight, how much weight he or she should aim to lose. Number one is half kg or 500 grams minimum in a week, and maximum of 1 kilogram in a week. That comes to around 2 to 3 kgs in a month. That should be the minimum target to lose weight, and maximum healthy and scientific way is 4 to 5 kgs, not beyond that in a month. Then secondly, the choice of food and exercise that you pick. To make it sustainable, it has to be amongst your choice. For example, tomorrow if I ask someone that you go to the gym, you will lose weight, it's not going to work, because that person does not like working out in the gym. What that person probably likes is to swim, or to take a brisk walk in the park. So it's very important to stick to what you like and follow that, and maybe add more varieties of workouts to achieve your goal. What is minimum required is 20 minutes of brisk walk. If you're at 0, you can start from 20 minutes of brisk walk and increase a few minutes every week. And that's how you can achieve 45 minutes to an hour in a month's time, and then continue that. So yeah, I am also open to questions. If there are any questions, please share them. Yeah, it's a green light, so I think I'm stopping my speech here, and I'm open to questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Prachi. It's very good. She allowed 2 minutes for question time before we have other feedback. Anyone who wish to ask for any clarification?
Okay, I just have a question. Does drinking too much water helps in weight loss? Water intake.
Drinking too much water can cause weight loss, is what you're asking.
Yes.
Yes, it helps to flush out a lot of toxins from the body. So it is good to detox, and it is good for the health, and it also supports weight loss. But yes, it's not the only thing that if somebody says that, okay, I start drinking only water, that's not going to help. It's a combination of things or the lifestyle modifications that work.
And how much more water can you drink, or when should you be drinking the water?
It's a good question. So 40 ml per kg body weight is the requirement in 24 hours. So it depends on your individual weight. As per your weight, so if your weight is 60 kgs, you should have 6 4 so 24, so 2.4 liters of water in a day in 24 hours.
Okay, wait. I didn't write down that thing. How many ml of water per whatever body weight?
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
You mentioned that certain quantity. How much water?
40 ml.
40 ml per
40 ml per kg body weight.
per kg. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Prachi. I
have a question, Dr. Prachi.
Yes.
Who is that?
I am Mona here.
Oh,
Yeah,
Mona.
I just wanted to ask, there is something different between an inch loss and weight loss, because something called, I always have this problem. I always get an inch loss and the weight does not, move. Is there is something, can you just explain if there is, what is the relation?
So yes, there is a difference between inches loss and weight loss. So when you are losing weight, if it is not showing up on the scale, but you're losing inches, you are still on the right track. And to make that weight move on the scale, there is something that you need to work out about your metabolism. Because of slow metabolism, it reflects a little later on the scale. So for somebody, it might reflect in a week. For you, it might reflect in 15 days. And if it is not even reflecting in those 15 days, then you need to add something to your workout, maybe work out twice a day or walk twice a day. That can also help boost the metabolism and show those results on the scale.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody else raise a hand with some question?
So,
Okay.
any suggestions on the speeches?
Brian raised his hand. Hold on.
I want to ask you about the walking, because it seems that walking is good for everybody. But what do you recommend people walk? Do you walk fast, walk slow for a long time, or walk fast in a very short period of time? What is the optimal way of walking according to you?
So there are different methods that people adapt. For some, so depends on the weight of the person, because if somebody is obese, he or she is not recommended to run, but brisk walk is what he or she should stick to. When it comes to combinations, if you want to speed up or boost up the results, a combination of like brisk walk and slow run works well if you are not too much obese. And yes, and there are different forms, but I say that whatever you enjoy doing. Some people might enjoy trekking, some people might enjoy like hiking or swimming. So the activity should depend on how you enjoy it, because only that makes it sustainable. So it more than the numbers, it should be the focus. Like I say that if you want to weigh yourself, weigh once a week, not more than that. There are people who stand on the scale every day to see whether they have lost the weight. So it's not the figures that matter, but the consistency that matters. So I recommend that slow brisk walk with the slow run is a good combination to go with, and it suits all age groups. So yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Prachi. Great work.
Thank you so much.
Anybody other than Christian, anybody want to share feedback, observations? Raise your hand. Okay. If not, I thoroughly enjoy. I find it's very educational, and lots of stuff for us to think about and what we can do. I think it's really good. to have this idea that weight loss has to be sustainable. Right? It's no use losing a lot of water for one day and then it comes back the next week. So excellent advice. Thank you very much, Dr. Prachi.
Thank you so much.
Okay, next speaker is a very young lady, all the way from India. And wow, Martin Luther King Jr. Club. My goodness, I'm so excited just looking at her backdrop. Are you ready, Alicia?
Yes, sir, I'm ready.
Okay, same thing. 1 minute to introduce yourself and to tell us what is this topic you're going to speak about? Why is it so important to us? And then 7 minutes to present your speech. Take it away, Alicia.
Hi, everybody. I'm Alicia Nyaz. I'm born in Bihar, India, and brought up in New Delhi. Right now, I'm living in New Delhi, India, and I'm a student of grade 6 from Khadijatul Kubra Girls Public School. And my topic is war, the war which is going on in Ukraine and Russia. And I will be telling you that why the war is, it's bad, what's the bad effects. And I will be telling an interesting thing that how can we stop a war. So please listen to me. And here I start. Good evening, everyone. I'm Alicia Nyaz, a student of grade 6 from Khadijatul Kubra Girls Public School, New Delhi, India. How are you all? I hope you all are fine and doing good. We all are fine by the grace of Almighty. But what about the kids who are in Ukraine? Yes, what about those kids who are being hurt in every single hour? Those kids who are supposed to study peacefully, whether at their home or at their schools, at this time are listening to screams, shouts, and watching missiles, rockets, and watching buildings fall off, and many people die. And not only they are watching all these, but many precious kids who are the bright future of Ukraine, not only Ukraine, but the whole world are being killed. Their blood, their priceless blood are dropped like water on the ground. Why? Do they not have the right to live peacefully? What is their sin and what is their mistake? Actually, they haven't made any mistake. They are innocent kids and innocent children. It is the war between Russia and Ukraine. In this war, no one hates each other, but they are fighting to increase their power. Tell me, can we be more powerful and strong by fighting with each other, or will be powerful with unity? And because of this war, which is for power, those innocent kids are being killed. Is it justice that to increase our power, we kill some innocent lives? And those innocent lives who can be the bright future of Ukraine. Don't you think we should do something for them? If we can't do, at least we should speak up, because at this time we have full right to speak whatever we want. Now, why am I speaking on this topic? Am I just reporting and telling you what's happening worldwide? No, I'm speaking on this because I don't want to destroy the bright future of this world. Yes, as I said earlier, these kids and these children are the bright future of this world. So why to destroy the future? And I don't want my innocent brothers and sisters to see crime. I don't want them to see being hurt and getting killed, because maybe these kids will create something for this world when they'll grow that we couldn't imagine today. But they are getting killed in their childhood. So how can we get amazing things if we are killing these kids? How can we expect beautiful things, things which will make our life easier? How? So I don't want them to be afraid of missiles, rockets, and bombs. I want them to study peacefully and be the bright future of our world. Be a scientist and do research and find the answer of the things which is a mystery till now. And to be a doctor and to help people when they are sick and they are ill. I want them to study and be a teacher and teach our upcoming generation. And I want them to be an honest politician and serve their country. And I want them to be in army and save their country. And I want them to be police officers to save and to do justice with the people in their city, their state. And to make this dream come true, we all have to raise our voice against the war which is going on in Ukraine. Because then only these children will study peacefully and my dream will come true. And yes, these are the harmful effects. Means because of this war, they are unable to study well. This is a bad thing, and this is the thing which is disturbing the kids and the students that they can't study peacefully. And this is why I'm here speaking about this, because we want justice. And now, those people who think that this war is just between Russia and Ukraine, why should we raise our voice? Why should we help them? Let it be, it's their matter, and let them have. So listen carefully. Today, they are being killed, they are being hurt. Maybe tomorrow, it will be you. Someone will be attacking at your state, your country. Then, will you not think that someone please raise voice against these wrong things? Someone please help us. And if you will be so, then understand that the same thing is happening with the kids who are in Ukraine right now. And if by raising our voice, someone will understand the things, someone will stop these things, or at least one life can be saved just because of our words, then why should we not speak against the wrong thing and stand in support for the right things? And now, when we know that we should stop all these, so we should also know that how can we stop all of these? So we can stop a war with communication. Oprah Winfrey said the only way to end war is communication between people. So now and last, I would like to give on a message. Dear all, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not here to just report what is happening in Ukraine. I'm here to do a request. If you can do anything for the kids who are being hurt and being killed in Ukraine, then please don't hesitate, do it. And if you can't help them by doing something for them, at least to speak up. Speak up against the wrong thing, because unity is strength. Now, thank you so much for listening to me for so long. Have a beautiful smile on your face. Take care. Love you all, and bye-bye.
Thank you, Alicia. I can feel the passion in your heart. It take my breath away. Look, it's amazing. Thank you. Let me change my virtual backdrop back to here, and let us invite some observations, feedback from our friends who like to share some feedback. You can raise your hands. Mona. Okay.
Alicia, first of all, that was a lovely, the way you said, and the topic, of course, it is very concerns all of us. And I would like to say that you came across as very confident and supporting the people and against the war. Of course, we are all against, at least I am, I would say, against the war. And what you said, your content was very good. The way you said it, the confidence, you ooze the passion and the confidence. I could, it was coming across, and your speech was very good, very effective, and I loved it. And talking about the future, the people and peace, absolutely go with it. Absolutely bang on. The only suggestion I would say is when you're sometimes, giving a speech, pause when you want to make an impact. Okay, there are places where I thought you could have paused, and that would have made a better impact. And the rest, I think, with age, with more practice, you will learn. You did a tremendous job. Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mona. Who else raised a hand? Let me see. Wait, hold on. I got to go to gallery. Okay. Raju, yes.
Alicia, I have a question for you. What are you doing over here? Why are you here in the first place? You should have been the ambassador of children's rights. What are you doing in Agora Club? The conviction, the passion you had in each wing, you spoke, phenomenal. I wish I was half brilliant as you. I would have been somewhere else. But congratulations, excellent, well spoken. Now, what you need is a little amount of tutoring in public speaking, and you will be a superstar. I'm extremely confident about that. And next time when you give a speech, what I would say is that imagine you've seen a movie, you love it a lot. And when you share it with your friend, how do you do it? Right? How do you explain it to your friend? Your hands are all over, emotions, everything. Try that in your next speech. You have a great future. I can tell you that. Over to you, Bente.
Thank you, Raju. I'll tell you why Alicia is at Agora Singapore. She logged in wrongly. She's supposed to log into United Nations.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, anyone else want to share some feedback? If not, then we'll invite the next speaker. Okay, who want to go next? Okay, we have Josefina. Are you ready, Josefina?
Yes.
Okay, good. Let me. Okay, thank you. Same thing, Josefina. 1 minute to introduce yourself and tell us about the topic. Tell us why is it so important to listen to you. And then you got 7 minutes to present your speech. Are you ready? Are you ready, Josefina?
Yes.
Okay, 1 minute to introduce your topic and yourself, and 7 minutes to present your speech. Let's welcome Josefina from Indonesia.
Thank you so much. So, good evening, everyone. I will speak about the mousetrap. So, my name is Josefina. You can call me Vina. I'm from Indonesia and I'm 14 years old. And this is my speech, the mousetrap. A farmer couple came home after shopping, and when they opened their grocery bag, they didn't notice that mouse was watching them while muttering, what food they will bring. As it turned out, the one purchased by the farmer is a mousetrap. The mouse shocked beyond measure. He immediately ran to the cage and shouted, "There's a mousetrap in the house. In the house, there's a mousetrap now." He came up to the chicken and said, "There's a mousetrap." The chicken said, "Mr. Rat, I'm sorry, but it doesn't affect me." The mouse then ran to the goat while screaming in panic. The goat also said, "I sympathize, but there is nothing I can do, right?" The mouse then met the cow. He got the same response. "I'm sorry, but mousetrap is harmless for me at all." He then ran to the forest and met a snake. The snake responded, "The little mousetrap won't harm me." Then the mouse became disappointed and came home that he will face his own danger. One night, the homeowner woke up, heard the sound of his rat trap sounding, signaling already casualty. When looking at the rat trap, it was a rattlesnake. The tail of the trapped snake makes the snake more vicious, attacks the wife of the owner of the house. Although the husband had time to kill the poisonous snake, the wife could not be saved. The husband had to take his wife to the hospital to be treated. Then soon his wife can go home. But few more days later, his wife still had a fever. Because chicken claw soup is very useful in reducing fever, the wife then asked her husband to make a claw soup for her. Her husband immediately slaughtered the chicken to cook its feet. A few days later, the pain did not abate. A friend suggested to eat goat liver to get well soon. The farmer then slaughtered his goat to take the liver. However, his wife did not recover and eventually died. A lot of people came to the funeral, so the farmer had to slaughter his cow to feed the mourning people. From a distance, a rat looks very sadly. A few days later, he noticed that the mousetrap is no longer in use. Moral of the day, if you hear someone's in trouble and it's none of your business, then think again. On the way to success as an entrepreneur, we will spit out blood ourselves by the step and cruelty of the business world. Not a few have used the expression, when the business was small, all are brothers and good friends. But when the money starts showing, even brothers were more evil than the devil himself. It's okay for you to be emotional and disappointed in dealing with this situation. But back to the original story, that life is a group of every choice we make. What we choose today will determine our future. So we have freedom of choice, but after we will be controlled by our choices we make before acting, so think before acting. Be aware of every consequence of the choices we make. Everything in life is temporary. If it goes well, enjoy it because it won't last forever. But if things go wrong, don't worry because it will not last forever. So get up and keep chasing your dreams. Thank you.
Thank you, Josefina. You used up 3 minutes of the time. It was a very absorbing story. I enjoyed that very much. Let's get some feedback from your audience. Anyone want to share your observations? What about Alicia? Now is your time to share your feedback. Say something. How do you feel?
Okay, so Yusufina, it was amazing, and I think you are exact like me, and you did amazing. I'm very much inspired by you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alicia.
Okay, I will share my feedback. Oh yeah, Mr. Charan Singh, please. You are muted. You have to unmute yourself.
Yes.
You are still
Can you hear me?
muted. You are still muted, Charan. Okay. We cannot hear you. You are unmuted, but we cannot hear you, Charan. I think is it your microphone or something is not connected? Now you're muted. Now you need to unmute now.
Can you hear me?
I can hear Josefina, but I cannot hear Charan.
Yes.
Charan, say something. No, we cannot hear you.
Hello?
We can hear Josefina, but we cannot hear Charan. Okay, let's see if anybody else who can be heard. Okay, I'll give you my feedback. Josefina, you are a very clever young lady. Why clever? You selected a topic that is relevant to us, that is important to us. So in any public speaking, the most important skill is to select the right topic. And you have selected an excellent topic. Why is it excellent? Because it's relevant to all of us. Okay. Now that's number one. Number two, why are you so clever? I'll tell you. Your message is conveyed with the story. Why is that important? All of us will remember the story you told. Even 1 day later, 1 week later, 1 month later, we'll always remember about the mousetrap, and then the chicken, the goat, and the cow not extending a helping hand, right? And then what happened to them? We know the farmer's wife was not feeling well, so they had to cook the chicken soup, and the chicken is gone. And then you need the goat liver, and the goat is dead. And then the farmer's wife still didn't get well, it got worse. And in the end, the cow is also gone. Okay, the story is very good for memory anchor. It locks in. And from there, we will realize that we should help others, because one day it will be our turn if we don't help them. So it's a very important lesson, right? And then you add on bonus points for us. Life is a series of consequences of your decision. I thought, wow, that's really excellent, right? And then life is temporary, right? So if something is really bad today, it need not be bad forever. Or if it is good, you got to prepare, because you may face the negative part. So, Josefina, I thoroughly enjoy your speech. I have one feedback for you. I felt, or I sensed, you were still a little nervous based on your voice. Were you feeling nervous?
Yes.
Yeah, I sort of sense it. So what you do is later on, you will listen to maybe Mr. Arvinder Singh. He will teach you how to breathe. Okay, so basically you need to compose yourself, breathe first before you start speaking. And then slow down. The audience are here, they are your friends. They will support you, right? You see us smiling to encourage you. So you did not fear that we will throw rotten eggs at you or things like that, right? So learn to relax. I think you do a great job. Let me see if anybody else want to share any feedback. If not, then I will invite the next speaker. Thank you, Josefina. The next speaker would Mr. Singh. Okay, excellent. Okay, Mr. Singh. Same format, 1 minute to introduce yourself and introduce your topic, 7 minutes to present your speech. And if you want to follow the timing sequence, you look at my screen, yeah, for the backdrop. Okay, are you ready? Let's welcome Mr. Arvinder Singh.
Hi, everyone. My name is Irvinder, and I come from the Himalayas. You know the high Himalayas? I come from Himachal Pradesh. The place I live is about 2,000 meters and surrounded by all the high Himalayas of 5,000 meters and above. So we can see the snow-capped mountain all around. And the name of my state is Himachal, means in the lap of snow. So we live in the lap of snow, and we have a snowfall in our hometown every winter. It can be about 3 to 5 feet. So I started a company back in India in 1989 under the name of Snowland Holidays. Anyway, I married a Singaporean in 94. And then my wife stayed with me for 6 years there. And then after that, we have a daughter and we decided to come to Singapore. And during the COVID, I was doing yoga from young, but even when I was going to my office, I had a principle that I will just do 15 to 20 minutes yoga every day without fail. And then I will go to the office. This I started about 7-8 years ago because my weight at that time was 85 kg. So with the yoga, my weight come down to about 72 kg. Then during this COVID, I decided to spend my time to become a yoga instructor. So I started, I joined one of the yoga school here and I become a yoga instructor. And then I joined, my teacher introduced me that I should learn further and I should become a yoga therapist because he feel I was doing very good and I spent a lot of time to learn the things. And so after that, I start to teach because as a part of my job, I have to, a part of my study as a yoga therapist, I start to teach 65 years old lady, and I can see the results in 1 week. Okay. Now, what are the results and how it is done? I'll explain you in my speech. Thank you very much to know me a little bit about me. Now I'll tell you what happened after that. You know, first thing you need to know that human can live without water for days, without food for weeks, and without oxygen, the man only can live for 3 minutes. So you can just imagine how important is oxygen for our body. And it's not only our body, because our body is the combination of 33 trillion cells. And every cell needs oxygen. And what happens when they don't get oxygen? They die. And what happens when they get oxygen? They accomplish all our body functions properly. So oxygen is very important for our body, for our health, because without oxygen, our body cannot function properly. All the chemical reactions, everything in our body, what is happening is all need oxygen. So do you know that our body is producing a lot of different chemicals? Some chemicals are known and some chemicals are not even known properly yet. It's estimated that there are about 110 different chemicals our body produce every day. And in the process, it also produces lots of toxins. So some toxin we are continuously releasing, like we go to urine and we go to, every morning we have to do a big business, so release ourselves. And if we don't release those two because they are in big quantity, we will feel problem in our body. But what happens if we don't release our toxins in our blood? Then we have even bigger problem, but we don't really understand that. We all think because these problems we cannot see in 1 day, 2 days. It will be, you can see the effect maybe in 20 years, 30 years. So what happened? Why all this thing happen? All this thing is due to the lifestyle problems and lack of oxygen. What is happening today? People living in cities, they get the oxygen which have 14 to 15% of oxygen, and rest is all the toxins and all those. Ideal oxygen is 21%. So if you are getting between 19 to 21% oxygen in the air, all the body functions can work properly. But what is happening is we are all living in air-conditioned environment, and air-conditioned environment, the oxygen is always lesser. So what is the way to resolve that? Yoga is one of the way. And I was telling you about the lady, 65 years old lady. I started yoga for her, and that is where I learn a lot of things from what I plan for her, because she have a diabetes. She only talked to me about diabetes. I asked her any other problem. She didn't come out any other problem at that time. Since she don't tell, I don't know also. So, but after I started the class for her, after 1 week, she go for just a regular checkup. It was not there was no intention that I ask her or she go for because of the yoga. No, there was nothing. She just go for a regular checkup. And in the regular checkup, the doctor tell her she doesn't need the cholesterol medicine anymore because her cholesterol level is normal now. And then also tell her the blood, she sent me the report also that her blood sugar have gone down. And on top of that, she also tell me she have some cervical issue, which was not in that report, but her cervical issues are getting better. She have lesser problems now. And 3-4 weeks later, she told me that even she have actually a double vision, and she was going for an operation for that, and they have a date for that. And she was consulting me, what should I do? I feel my eyes are better now. I say, you still go for a test because that is important. But anyway, she doesn't have to take test. She doesn't have to go for operation. So now her double vision also is almost getting corrected. And this is only 2 months plus only. And in this process, but I learned, but I was teaching them, then I start to call more people to learn the same things. And everybody reported me that another lady reported me that she used to have a whole body ache. Just 1.5 months later, she said, everything is okay now. And another lady after 10 sessions, lose 5.1 kg weight. So I just see that what was I doing? I was doing very little exercise. Now I show you what are some of the exercise. I'll not show you everything, but I just show you some of the exercises. One is that I teach them to breathe with the hand movement. So you all can come with me and just try, and you can feel the difference. You just bring your hand in front. Just breathe in with me, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, go back and breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. Second time, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, and breathe out, breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. Then again, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, and breathe out, breathe out. So you can just see, you all breathe. I didn't even breathe. I also feeling energy. How are you all feeling after this just 3 breaths? So you just imagine that with this, like this, I actually designed that breathe in this way 5 times, breathe in this way, then breathe up all 5 times. Then breathe with your ankle up and hand up, and breathe out, ankle down, and then alternate leg. Steps. Tell Shirley. Say.
You are frozen, Avinda.
Probably can't hear us.
I think he got locked out as well. Let me see. Where's Avinda? I think he got kicked out of the room due to bandwidth issue. Okay, anyway, let's wait for him to come back.
Yeah, I'm already there.
Oh, you're back. Okay, come.
Carry on, or I should stop?
You carry on.
Have
Finish
1 minute.
Yeah, I think you were doing the exercise, the 5 different exercise. That's where we lost you, up to the part where the hands and the
ankle. And after finishing that, we go from ankle breathe out, then the leg, a kneecap rotation, and then after that we do the kneecap pull up, and then we just do the half butterfly, full butterfly. Half butterfly is that you put the right leg on the left thigh, and then you shake your leg, then another side, and then both leg together. And after that we do some chakki chalan. Okay. and then we do some hand movement and then the head movement and then all this thing, and then we do a spine movement. That's it. I didn't teach much yoga to her. So with this, all these things get us so much benefit because we get a lot of oxygen. Every exercise we do with the breathing. So everything, so they can come and join me, and it surely can benefit. They can see the benefit in about 1 week's time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Arvinda. Stay there. We should have some time for question and answer. Is there anyone with any questions for Arvinda? Well, I do. Okay, I will start with the first question. Other than the breathing exercise, do the people need any other thing to overcome the problem of body weight, cervical issue, double vision, and stuff like that?
You see, very simple, because we are doing the head movement, and that also 3 head movement only. One is breathe in, breathe out. Second is breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. And third is breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Just this simple exercise, it helps cervical and the eyes. And then we also do rub the hand and do the cupping of the eye. So all these things are there.
Oh, it's all exercises that anybody can do.
Anybody can.
Thank you. And I understand
because these are planned for 65 years old.
Oh, wow. Wow. I understand you are conducting all these training sessions. Do you charge a fee?
No, it's a free Google Meet. My fees is if you can learn and you can understand, you can just teach to other people. That's my fees.
Okay,
I have no aim to charge fees. No, I earn from my travel agency.
Okay, definitely we should go and visit your hometown in the Himalayas with your guidance.
Yeah, there I will earn money.
Yeah, no issue. We'll be happy to pay you money.
But not in this. My idea of doing this is that let everybody benefit.
Can you share the link how to attend your course online, or what days or what time do you conduct the course?
Actually, 7:30 a.m. Singapore time every day, 7:30 to 8:45. Now, slowly, I'm asking my participant to teach already. There are 3 participants who already can teach. My idea is that you learn this very simple yoga, and after that, you teach to other people.
Wait,
deep into that, you can go more and more. If you want to learn more, you can go to other schools.
What about the link? How do we attend your course?
I cannot hear.
No.
What is that?
Is there a link for us to click to attend your course?
I can just send my. I send a link every morning on the WhatsApp.
No,
so
you must
if
send
you
to us.
Share,
You send to me. Is there a different link every day or the same link all the time?
Right now we are doing different link every day, but sooner maybe we will go for one link. Right now we are just Google Meet. This is
okay. You send to us. If you can use the same link, if not, you can use the
Google Meet. Because why we do on Google Meet? Everybody.
Okay, you send me. I can help you circulate to our Agora friends.
Okay, we can try that.
Yeah,
we can try that.
Thank you very much.
Same link also can be done.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
I think same link easier for people, right? Okay. Anybody else have any question?
I have a question for Arvinda Singh. Mr. Singh, where do you conduct your training? In the open or in the hall or any special room?
It's in my right now. No, it's on the Google Meet. It's a virtual right now. But I will be calling. I'm planning that I will also conduct physical on maybe one of the stadium once in a weekend, so that people can join That is my next aim. So that because on Google Meet, sometimes I cannot see the the movement of the body. So on the even those who have learned already, they will also come there. And then if we have a bigger group, then we will teach 2-3 people will teach the same thing, so that they also can comment. So it's for the benefit of everybody that we will be coming to the booking a stadium or some park, because as a yoga instructor, I'm registered there, so I can book that also for benefit of everybody. Again, free, no charge.
Okay.
You
Thank
book
you
as a
very
part,
much.
and we can all come to benefit from your training.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, who else have any feedback or question? If not, we thank Mr. Ivinder Singh. Thank you very much. Let's invite the next speaker. Patrick, are you ready, Patrick?
Yes.
Okay, let us invite Patrick to present his speech.
Can I share screen?
Okay, the same timing. Can you remember the timing sequence?
1 minute to introduce and 7 minutes for the speech.
Okay, and then if you want to keep track of the time, you can look at my screen. Can you remember the color sequence?
Green for the 5, and then yellow for 6, and red for 7.
Yeah, you are using your handphone or your computer.
Handphone?
Can you see my screen for the color light?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, are you ready? Let's welcome Patrick Jacobus.
Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk about how we can access and how lucky are us that we can access. My name is Jacobus Patrick and I'm from Bandung in Indonesia. I am 11 years old. We are small, lucky, and new. Here's an image at what Earth looks like. It's not the sky and you look at a star. It's space and it's Earth. There is us. This is taken from 6 billion kilometers away, and it shows that we are just a tiny part in the universe. We are so lucky to exist, but we are small and new in the universe. We've only lasted for 200,000 years, while the universe had lasted for very long, which is 13.8 billion years old. Humanity is very new to our universe. And seeing at the pale blue dot image again, this shows how small is universe, how small is the Earth. The Earth, the world that we are living in, just accounts very small in the universe that it exists below 0.01%. And we have one thing left in our aspects. We are very lucky to exist. Although we are small and new, we have only lasted for 200,000 years, and we are living on a small planet on the universe. We are very lucky to exist, and we are very lucky to be an intelligent species. Intelligent humans had lasted for 500,000 years, or yes, and then modern human had only lasted for half of them. But humanity had already grown to develop technologies like computers, calculators. There's many of them that humans already developed. And back to the original question, who am I? So if you think once again about your life, There is no proof that we exist. There is no proof that the universe exists. There is a chance that we are just in a simulation, or there is a chance that we are just in a dream, and there is no also proof that you are awake. You can be awake in a dream. There is no way to find out if you are dreaming or not. If there is a machine that can detect if you are dreaming or not, maybe if you imagine that the machine showed you are wake up, maybe the machine is inside your dream and you fake the results. There is no proof that we are exist, and we are so lucky to get the right conditions. The first four I listed for you just to write if you want, and the fifth is how lucky are us. The universe exists just for us. While the first four is very, very rare, the fifth seems a bit like be impossible. And thinking about there is no proof that we are exist, I think, therefore I am a thinking thing. No one is unlucky if everyone can think if one is lucky or not. If you can think that you are unlucky, then you are lucky, because there is no many intelligent species, at least humans, that we already found. Humans are very lucky to have existed in the universe, and the universe is very lucky to have existed as the universe that holds us as human beings. Thank you.
Welcome. Well done, Jacobus. That was an excellent speech. Did you spend much time researching so much information?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with all the details. 13.8 billion years for the universe, 200,000 years for mankind, and you are you are what? 10 years old? No, you are 12 years old.
11.
11, right? So you can see the significance of your message, that we are lucky, and you think very deep thoughts that I don't think about when I'm your age. I don't think about who am I, what am I real, am I a simulation, am I a dream? I think these are thoughts that philosophers and great thinkers ponder. So I'm really impressed with your research ability and your deep attention to so much details and your confidence in speaking. Now I'd like to invite our audience to share some feedback. Do we have any volunteers? Raise your hand. Okay, we start with Brian.
Yeah, Patrick, I thought your research is incredible, that you are able to put all of those things together and form a speech. And also that you share directly from your phone, which you use very skillfully. And I thought that that's good, that all of us need to know how to do presentations out of a computer or laptop, as well as a cell phone, which I thought that's a great demonstration that you just had. And if I could give you some suggestions, first is try to keep your phone at a steady place. Maybe put it on the desk with a stack of a book, because when you are speaking, your phone kind of jumping up and down and shaking, and it makes my eyes a little uncomfortable. But I think you look better now, because I don't know how you hold your phone, but you could always try to put it at the eye level so you could face directly to the lens. So this way that your video will be more stable and it's easier for the eyes of other people. And also I would suggest you that you speak a little louder to the microphone, even though everybody can hear you. But if you speak louder, you actually gain confidence by doing that, because you're letting in more air into your lung and you're projecting your voice out. just pretend every time, even though you don't know how many people are on the Zoom or the Microsoft Teams call, always imagine that there's a huge room full of people listening to you and only you. And you have to use enough strong voice to reach everybody. And this way that you could practice your speaking as well as your breathing and your confidence. But overall, I thought your research was incredible. You put so much together in a very condensed presentation that shows a lot of things. And I thank you for joining us today. Back to you, Bam.
Thank you, Brian. Well done, Jacobus. Excellent. And that's 11 years old. My goodness. I cannot imagine how great a speaker you'll be when you reach our age. Amazing. Okay. Mr. Singh, you want to say something?
Yeah, I can say that he really did a lot of research, and I'm very impressed by his presentation. And as you say, just at 11 years, we cannot even think of anything. We didn't even know all these things at that age. We have no knowledge on all these things at that age. Yeah. So I can see a huge potential in your coming years, that you can be a good public speaker because you know how to research at this age. So how much can you research in future? I can see that from your today's presentation.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Singh.
Yeah, very good.
Okay.
Well done.
If there are no other feedback, let's invite the next speaker. We have, I think, one more speaker, which is Brian. Do you wish to speak tonight?
Hey, oh.
No, yeah. Desi, Anna. Do you wish to speak tonight, Desi?
Hi, my bank. Sorry, I have any speech. Maybe next week or
Okay,
some
next
other time.
meeting then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay, so there are no other speakers.
Thank you.
If no other speakers, then we will call a meeting to the end. But before we end, I want to thank all of you who have presented this, who have provided feedback to the speakers, and some of them have left the room, but still we appreciate everyone. And for those of us who have not spoken, who have not given any feedback, thank you for coming, because you play an important role as the audience. Congratulations, everyone, for helping make this evening a success. And let us continue to meet again. I'll be sending out the invite for the next meeting. Thank you very much. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you, Charan. Thank you, Jacobus. Thank you, Josefina. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Jenny, Surinder, Alicia, Jen Lee, Jessica, Charles, Barton, Tessiana, and Mr. Singh. Thank you very much. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. See you next meeting.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dancing. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.